Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video. We're just going to hop right into this video. First one on our list is going to be Andi, all right? I'm recording this back to back from the other one, so I have not seen your comments yet. But first one, Andi, let's go.
Kidding about things getting absolutely insane on Alabasta. So right off the bat, we get an entire breakdown of the Baroque Works leadership system, which is very interesting. I was very intrigued by Bon Clay accidentally getting snared by Luffy and the Straw Hats. And I was trying to figure out if Bon Clay did that on purpose, if that was a sneaky trick. And then we come to learn later that Bon Clay was equally shocked to learn that he had actually interacted with the Straw Hats. And I'm going to make a prediction now. Once again, I'm only through the end of chapter 170, so do not spoil it. But Bon Clay is not treated nicely by his cohort in Baroque Works. And he was treated very kindly by the Straw Hats. And I have a feeling that there may be a defection coming in the future. Because we see right away Bon Clay does not feel like he belongs with Baroque Works. And one thing about the Straw Hats is they are going to find a way to make sure that everybody belongs exactly as they are. Because they learn that Bon Clay has the power to mimic any face that he has interacted with or touched ever, they form
so that's the requirements? He has to like touch them in order to mimic them? Interesting. I actually did not know that. Okay.
Little friendship bands. And what do they call them? The left arms will bear the sign of their fellowship, which I loved. And we see later how Karoo also would not take that off of his wing, which I thought was just so sweet and so precious. Luffy's brother, hello. Oh my gosh. Like, I am so glad I took notes because so much stuff happened that I forgot for a second that we met Luffy's brother. Very curious, very curious. As soon as we saw this man's face, Ace's face, I was like, that is a relative of Luffy, especially when we saw that his initial was D as well. He also favors a hat, which seems to run in this family. The first part of this arc has a lot
I like that. Which seems to run in this family. That's good. Okay.
Of heavy world building, and it actually felt a lot like reading a fantasy book at first because there's a lot of stuff to unpack about the context of the world and the context of what's going on. A fun little thing I realized as I was reading is that it makes sense that Alabasta is a desert kingdom because Karoo, Vivi's bird, is what I assume named after Karoo, which is a region of South Africa that is fully arid. It's a desert basically. Yes, and I feel like this it probably is where Oda got his inspiration for the name because there's lots of cheeky call outs to things that exist in our real world throughout there. So if you know if that's where he got his name from, let me know. But I'm going to choose to believe it is because I think that's fun. I really enjoyed learning how Sir Crocodile got a foot in the door and started fracturing this what seemed to be a very solid kingdom of Alabasta. We learned that he planted the dance powder, that he exploited people's poverty, that he exploited resources, that he turned it against the king, and he really riled up the population through this feeling of injustice. I loved meeting Toto and getting context of Vivi's childhood friend Koza, and how the king just was so kind and so generous to this family, and that is what cemented Toto's loyalty to the king, that even though Yuba, this island that was an oasis, was completely wrecked by these rebels that, wanted to save the kingdom and in turn just destroy it, he remained dedicated to his promise that he would create this thriving, beautiful community. The second that we met Koza and saw that he was angry at the king, I was like, I bet this guy's going to be leading the rebellion. And I was correct. He absolutely was. And what I want is for him and Vivi to fall in love, actually, when they see each other again, which they haven't yet, and I suspect they're going to. I really feel like we're seeing Luffy come into his own as a mature man, honestly, in this. When the switch up from how he wasted resources before they came to Yuba and he met Toto to how he treated the resources after he saw how much work went into Toto dredging up just one cup of water. This is also really the first time that we're seeing a more cynical side of Luffy, which I was really surprised by. I was really caught off guard. Normally, Luffy feels like the one with his head in the clouds, but when him and Vivi are fighting, which by the way, when you punch Vivi in the face, I was like, excuse me? I was with Sanji. I was like, what did you do? But he says to Vivi, you're naive. People die. And that was such a dark statement coming from Luffy. Obviously not wrong. That is unfortunately the way the world works. But that just felt like such a cynical, sort of hardened response to things. And it made me wonder, what does Luffy really have going on below the surface? What's simmering below that we haven't yet seen? I love seeing glimpses of Vivi's dad throughout the story. He is such an incredible leader. And you can just tell Oda's respect for this character throughout. He is kind, he is gracious, but he's also strong. Like, he refuses to attack the rebels because he will not harm his own people. But when he gets the letter from Vivi via Karoo, he's like, okay, so Crocodile is an enemy, and that is an enemy of our kingdom, and he wastes no time aiming the full force of his might and the Alabasta kingdom at Sir Crocodile and preparing for that attack. There really is so much going on in this arc. I'll be honest, I was a little bit overwhelmed. The panels were probably the busiest that we've had thus far, and I found myself having to reread stuff because I didn't want to miss anything. We have the Navy, we have Baroque Works, we have Luffy's brother maybe somewhere in there. I was curious if he was going to pop up again. We have the Straw Hats, and all of this is going on while they're in the middle of this very busy town running up to rain dinners to this casino to get Mr. Crocodile, Sir Crocodile. How I have left it for this part is that the Straw Hats are caught up. They're stuck in the prison with Captain Smoker. Vivi has showed up. We've learned that Sir Crocodile has the power of the Sand Fruit, so basically he seems immortal. How is he supposed to... You know, like, I'm actually stressed out. Like, he feels like a very formidable villain. Missile Sunday...
Huh. How do you kill sand? That's a good question.
It has just killed one of the Royal Guard, Hell, which shook. I was waiting for it to be like, let me help you, Vivi. No.
Why y'all... Why? I'm good. Hello, comment writer. You guys are commenting on the video as I'm doing this. All right. Cool.
She seems actually just as terrifying as Sir Crocodile. And then Operation Utopia is about to begin. You know who's not in the prison? Is Chopper. Because they underestimated him. They said, don't worry about the pet. And I have a feeling my beloved little Chopper is going to come save the day. That's my inkling. And so I will update you all in the next part.
Don't ever underestimate I feel like the pet. Never ever underestimate a pet. This is a very good one, Andy. I really enjoyed this. Busiest chapter. I like it. I like it.
I'm about to start reading Long Island, I think that's what it's called. I'm going to start chapter 305. We finished 300 chapters, you guys. That's
congratulations. Well, bro, shut up. I'm sorry. Congratulations.
Crazy. I don't want to finish the series. At the beginning of...
You're at chapter 300 and you're worried about finishing the series. Oh, boy.
I was like, oh, this is such a long series.
Why am I... Stop telling me it's my bedtime. I know it's almost 1 a.m. Damn.
Like, how long is it going to take me to finish it? I don't want this to end. He was on it, and they pushed him down. He was on top of them for 10 years because he was way too scared to get down from that height. And Luffy is the one telling him, are you an idiot? Luffy, you're not one to talk here. Zip it. Chopper has this quirk where every single time somebody's injured or passed out or in danger and in need of doctor, he's like, somebody call a doctor. And then he's like, wait, that's me, I'm the doctor. This dumbass old age man who has been stuck on the bamboo trees for 10 years came down to his house. He's talking about some village, but there's no village. I'm confused. That's normal. But he ate this aged milk that turned into a cheese ball that's rotten and whatever. And he's eating it, talking about something, you guys are delicate kids. And then he collapsed.
Now I'm confused.
This is such a cool concept. So the island is called Long Ring, Long Land. Such a tongue twister. This island is actually shaped like a ring, but it's normally divided by the sea into 10 islands. However, once every year, when the tide is at its lowest, and only for a few hours, the islands reveal their true shape as one giant ring-shaped landmass. Using that window, every 3 years, we migrate from one island to another. And he got left behind because he was on the bamboos for 10 years.
Oh,
whoa.
Damn.
The horse waited for him, Sherry. For 10 years, that's a loyal horse.
What did the horse eat then?
Gunshot? Foxy the Silver Fox. Foxy Pirate's Captain, bounty 24 million berries. Porsche.
That's a lot of money.
Foxy Pirate's Warrior. Don't tell me you don't recognize my face. Oh no, boss, don't get depressed. He's lying. I'm sure he knows. What? We got a sensitive gangster.
Your laugh sounds like... You sound like a fox. That's funny. Ironic, because Foxy Pirate.
They're there. Straw Hat Luffy. Oh, they recognize him. That's a little pride. Monkey D. Luffy with a bounty of 100 million berries. unicorn or rhinoceros worth 60 million berries. A minor gang of 7 with a total bounty of 160 million is pretty impressive. Foxy pirates challenge you, the Straw Hats pirates, to a 3-coin... What are you talking about? Hurry up, come at me. Luffy does not want to talk to them. Davy back fight? What does that mean? Not that game. We'll lose our companions?
That's interesting.
What does that mean?
I think I just met a character.
Carla, it's been a minute, Carla. Let's see what you've been up to.
That might actually challenge Nami for my favorite Straw Hat.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
All
Today is so cold and it's so snowy, hence this blanket. And it feels like the perfect day to be reading and talking about Drum Island. My brother Gabe and I are actually still at my parents' house following the Thanksgiving holiday. So he's had to listen to all of my live reactions and crazy theories while reading Drum Island. But there's so much to talk about and so many characters to go over that I feel like I'm barely going to be scraping the surface in these videos. So Gabe and I were actually talking about maybe recording a deep dive and posting that to YouTube. Is that something you guys would be interested in watching? Let me know in the comments. Sure. But as you comment, keep in mind that I'm only halfway through Drum Island. I feel like every arc peels back another layer of Luffy's personality, and he keeps having these tiny moments of brilliance and growth. He's a very impulsive character, but he can actually take a step back and listen to his friends' feedback when they tell him that he is wrong, and he can recognize and accept their feedback. Early in the arc, Vivi points out how his actions are endangering the entire crew. And not only does he recognize that she's right, but he actually apologizes. And then we see another moment when he re-encounters Wapol and he recalls Sanji's words about how engaging in combat would actually endanger Nami's life. And he chooses to run and not impulsively engage in some sort of fight with Wapol and his men, and decides to put his friends' lives first. And I think that every arc, we just keep seeing his character grow a little bit more. And this is still very early on in the entire One Piece story. So I'm really excited to see how Oda will continue to showcase his character growth. Themes in this arc are so powerful and honestly disturbingly relevant in 2025. Wapol is a tyrant who is withholding necessary medical care from his people under the guise of protecting them as a means to control them. And he's literally isolating this island from the World Council and went as far as physically harming Princess Vivi at this council. We see how living under this kind of tyranny can foster fear and anger in people, and how that fear and anger can lead to really hateful actions towards those that are different, like Chopper. I truly do not know how you read this arc or watch this arc and still say that One Piece isn't political. If that's your stance, I fear that you've lost the plot. Chopper's backstory resonated with me in a way that no other character's story has so far. As a Latina living in the US, I truly understand that feeling of being of two different places, but not feeling like you truly belong to either one, or not being fully accepted in either one. And I mean, reindeer to be human, two humans to be a reindeer. And to know that Chopper finally found acceptance and love in someone, and then to lose that. You guys all lied to me. You told me that I would not get emotional this arc, but I'm not even halfway through. And I do think by the end of the arc, Chopper will join the Straw Hats as the ship's doctor, especially because of this conversation right here. Earlier in the video, I said that there's a character that might be giving Nami a run for her money as my favorite Straw Hat. I don't know, but I really love Chopper so far. Speaking of characters I love, Dr. Kureha is such a baddie. Like, she's smart. She's highly effective at her job. She refuses to comply with a tyrant. She loves skincare. She likes money and nice things. Like, girl, please be my friend. Also, I really hope Dalton survives. I hope that Oda is okay inflicting enough emotional devastation with Chopper's backstory, and Dalton's going to pull through. Also, Dragon mentioned, sir, what are you up to? What's your endgame? I think I just met a character.
Carla, who's Dragon? Who's that? Carla, who's Dragon?
Okay, guys, we need to talk.
Trashley. It's been a minute. Damn. I see the One Piece books in the background. That's how you know. Oh, and I see the Eevee in the background too. All right,
talk about Arlong Park. If you've not,
Trashley is live right now. Never mind. It was live, I guess. I don't know.
Read through chapter 95 of One Piece. There will be spoilers in this video. Scroll away, save this for later. Let's get into it. This arc was by far the most emotionally impactful of the entire series so far. There are some really powerful themes explored in these chapters. We obviously have found family, we have corruption and power and greed, and like racial supremacy. But starting with found family, because that's something that has...
Which one is this? I'm gonna get controversial with you guys, okay? Okay, we're gonna talk a bit about racial supremacy, guys. In the comments down below, if you could be part of any race in One Piece, which race would you pick? Okay, racial supremacy time. Which race would you pick? Personally, I don't want to spoil anything, okay? But you know, like wildfire. That's all I'm gonna say. Wildfire, okay? Okay. Whatever race, wildfire, I would like to be a part of that race.
It's been present in every chapter essentially so far. And the flashback of Nami's backstory with Belle-Mère broke me. While they're not blood related, Belle-Mère loved Nojiko and Nami as if they were her own. From literally the second she laid eyes on them, she put them before herself. And she did that until her dying breath. I felt so bad for Nami because she was so young and she said so many hurtful things that I know she didn't mean or truly understand what she was saying. And to have that conversation be one of the very last you had with your mother before she passes is just unimaginable. And so when she decides to team up with Arlong and become his navigator and earn money to eventually buy her village's freedom, I don't fully blame her. And that's obviously why she keeps Luffy and them at arm's length in the first few arcs. Going into the kind of corruption, power, greed of it all.
What is this background sound I'm hearing? Like, what is this? Bubbles. That's what it's called? Bubbles? Interesting.
I found it very interesting that the Navy is sort of in cahoots with a lot of these pirates, and that the reason why no one has come to help Cocoa Village is because Arlong is working with the Navy. And I thought it was such a powerful moment for the village to realize that the Navy is not going to come help us. No one else is going to come save us. We need to do it ourselves. And they revolted despite the odds stacked against them. The fishmen talking about how superior they are to other humans was very icky, but it really touched on some real life themes that we've seen historically and today. And Arlong is a very strong villain character. He actually kind of freaked me out a little bit. He feels like the first real taste of like what it's going to be like on the Grand Line. In the final battle between Luffy and Arlong, I was on the edge of my seat. Especially when Luffy went into the water, you guys, I was freaking out. Through the power of friendship, because Luffy is nice to people and he goes out of his way to help people, the villagers came to his rescue. Nojiko and Genzo, my favorite, came to his rescue.
Genzo is your
I thought it was
favorite?
super funny that they had to stretch his head to the surface of the water to keep him alive while they were trying to free him from the bottom. Speaking of Genzo, you guys, I think he was my favorite in this entire arc. I thought he was such an amazing character. And I love that he was this sort of father figure to Nami. This moment between Genzo and Nami broke me, you guys.
Alright.
For him to tell her that she fought well and to let them help her was just, I think, the moment she really needed. And then Volume 9 ends with the most touching moment of the entire series for me so far, and that is when Nami asks Luffy for help. You know the panel, guys. This had me sobbing. I thought Zoro and Sanji worked really well together and did their part to give Luffy time to come back and defeat Arlong. And I suppose Usopp was helpful in his own way. It was so satisfying to see Arlong Park.
What is this Usopp slander? Yo. Why? Man.
Fall, to see the navigation mapping room be destroyed. And it felt like Nami was truly liberated in that moment. And it felt like she was truly overwhelmed with gratitude and just relief. I can't imagine how long those 8 years with Arlong had been for her. And all in all, I really liked the way that this arc ended. I felt like it was very heartwarming and had a great resolution, but also left some tension with the fact that Luffy now has a bounty on his head from the Navy. I'm a little bit nervous to see what kind of ramifications come from that. I think it was in chapter 94 where it had like the famous line where Luffy tells Nami, "You're one of us now." I love that. I thought the fight scenes were exciting and dynamic and suspenseful. Arlong as a villain was truly frightening. The world building we get and what we learn more of, like the government, the Grand Line, how the Navy interacts with some of these pirates. Yeah. I'm excited to see how that gets expanded on in future chapters. And I'm so excited to finally have Nami as a full-fledged member of Luffy's crew. And obviously we know I love me some Zoro. I was very happy to have more of him in this arc. And I'm so excited to see what happens next for these characters. It looks like I have a couple shorter arcs coming up with Lobetown and Reverse Mountain. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button to stick around.
Yeah, of course. Like, you're amazing. That's pretty cool. Huh.
Goldie Rogers having that D in his name,
What's with
Monkey
the
D.
D
Luffy having the D in his name, Ace having a D in his name. Before even Robin said the name of the pirate, Monkey D. Luffy, that saved the Skypia.
Why there's so many of them that got it? Oh, by the way, this is Juliette. Why there's so many of them that have a D in you?
The Sky Knight was like, that boy, that pirate has the same air to him as Goldie Roger. And then Robin was like, he came here? And then we see that the poneglyphs are like a way of communication. They're like, almost like letters to me. Not only do they like depict location of certain weapons, that turns out there are 2 of now. But they also like are a way of communication, a way of recording history, and the Skypian people are finally like, not Skypians, Shandorians are finally like free from the burden of protecting them. Their purpose was fulfilled. It's just like a whole new level of introducing new things that Oda did with this. So what is his relation with Luffy? When you read this series in the beginning and you see Luffy wanting to find the One Piece and wanting to become the King of the Pirates, I thought to myself, like, he's a descendant of Roger. But that was never mentioned, and there's no clues other than that D in his name. And I'm not even sure if that's his actual, like, name, his surname or his middle name, and how it correlates to Roger.
Is he not a descendant?
Just so interesting. And this just keeps getting better and better, and I'm, like, just so excited sharing all this with you guys. We met, the Flamingo again, and I guess Bellamy was working under him, and he was kicked out because Luffy beat him. And the Flamingo seems like a cruel man. Also, the last thing that got mentioned before Skypiea arc ended officially was this admiral named Okiji, the greatest power in the Navy. He was riding a bicycle, cycling on water. What is that all about?
Is he like Jesus?
Okay, I'm back with my notebook, so let's finally talk
about damn time. Sarah Sparrow, let's see what you
about Arlong Park. So I liked this, but not as much as the rest of the fandom does.
Oh. Damn. Well, that's the end of this video, guys. I'll see y'all later.
It had like a lot of impactful moments, but it did have some pacing problems for me, and the fights just felt a little bit too drawn out because I'm more into the character stories and less so into the battles in the villain arcs. That being said, Nami's backstory is beautifully tragic and carries real weight. She endures quietly, fiercely, and for way too long, and we feel every second.
That thing on the book, that's like your book holder. What is it called? Book holder, book page, book. What is the thing where it holds the page? Book bind. I don't freaking know. That's what it is, right? I think so.
Of what she sacrificed in this arc. Arlong noticing her natural talent for making maps at such a young age and then shaping her whole world around making charts for him gives a darker edge to his character. He didn't just exploit her skill, he built a whole life around controlling it. Then we get the iconic hat scene, where Luffy takes off his most cherished straw hat and places it atop Nami's head. Not as theatrics, but as truth. No hesitation, no speeches, just a moment of, I see you and I've got you. And it's hands down one of the most heartfelt moments of loyalty and found family in the entire series that I've read so far. And now I need to talk about the symbolism of the chart room. It wasn't just paper and pencils. It was every hour of isolation, of lost potential, and of fear that Nami spent in there. So when Luffy comes barreling in, he's not being dramatic for fun. He's literally annihilating the blueprint of her suffering. He frees her by erasing the place where her pain was manufactured. And the Navy working with Arlong, that adds tension, heartbreak, and anger in all the right places. Side note, Mumu the sea cow was adorable. So cute. And honestly, the cherry on top for me was the ending when Nami changes.
Because I decided to wear a cow onesie today, but
her tattoo to a tangerine for her mom and a pinwheel for Genzo. It carries her past, but finally transforms it into something that belongs to her. Overall, this arc had a very powerful story, major symbolism, and a lot of heavy political themes that I barely even touched on.
Didn't like it because of the fights? Interesting.
The pacing dragged slightly for me, but the emotional payoff made this arc unforgettable. While it wasn't my personal favorite arc, it was still pivotal and it was a great read. Thank you guys for following along on my One Piece journey.
So is she still gonna continue, or I felt the same way? Battles aren't doing it for me, but the quieter moments are. This is Morgan, man. Guys, I have beef with Morgan, by the way. Yes, me and Morgan, we have beef with each other. Oh, Julia! By the way, Julia told me I should review her videos, which we are going to do now, actually. Hi, Julia. Julia is one of you. Julia watches the videos, and I wanted to go ahead and give back out to the community. So
in the middle of Syrup Village arc.
Okay.
And I just saw a tiny backstory of Luffy with Yasopp, and I wanted to go over some of the things that I wrote down.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
So I was just taking some notes as I go through.
What? You look nervous. Wait, also, is that your roof? Why is that like okay? Like, them popcorn things on the popcorn thing on your walls? Aren't those supposed to be like on the top of the ceiling? Like, is that your roof? Is this video sideways?
This is what I wrote down. I mean, Usopp comes up and I'm like, the man, the myth, the legend, God Usopp. He's here. Just who we need. And we see Ninjin and Piman and Tamanegi with their cute little wooden swords and them getting like big mad at the Straw Hats for it. So cute. And then we see as soon as like Zoro, Nami, and Luffy land on their island, Zoro immediately clocks the Usopp Kaizokudan and is like,
who? That's the first time I've heard anybody say that out loud. Interesting. So that's what that is. Okay. All right.
Who are those guys? And they're like, and they go hide. It's like hilarious. It's just so cute. And then we see Klahadore and like, boo, we hate Klahadore.
Oh, okay.
And then like later on, Usopp comes in to talk to Kaya, right? And he starts lying about him fighting a giant goldfish that poops islands. And
what? Why are you looking at me like that? Like, hello? She acts like I'm the one who said the lie. Okay, it wasn't me. It was Usopp. I promise.
In a few more arcs, that's gonna come true.
There's a goldfish that poops island. That's a real thing? Huh.
So, I've read somewhere, and I've heard somewhere, that everything that Usopp has lied about eventually comes true. So, this happens in Little Garden. So it's not even that far ahead. And then Luffy coming up to the mansion and literally yelling at the mansion, "Give me a ship!" It's so Luffy coded, and then he just hops the fence because nobody answers. Like, who's gonna answer that? They don't even know you. And then Usopp's cathartic punch. I have a little clip I'm gonna put in of me reacting to it.
Oh, this is the clip? Shut up.
So cathartic. Well deserved.
Man, you don't even know how to spell cathartic. Why are you out here using big words, bro? Like, I know what cathartic means. The people in the comment sections don't know what cathartic means, okay? Okay, you who are watching this, you don't know what cathartic means. But as I was saying, okay, they don't know what cathartic means. I know what cathartic means, okay? So why don't you explain it to the rest of us? Damn, stop using big words.
Like, he gets it before we even know about this Klahadore. But then
I'm proud
that he's a brave warrior of the sea. I'm proud that my father is a pirate. You're right, I do make up stories, but there's one thing I'll never lie about. I'll never lie about my pirate heritage. I'm the son of a pirate. And then Luffy's like, oh yeah, you're Yasopp's kid.
Wait, how did Luffy know? Did he just like, there's only one other person in the entire world who has a very long nose. Like, hello? Or like, did Luffy just remember like how Yasopp? Like, I really want to know. Like, what was it?
And then Usopp saying to Klahadore that he he was like, why did you come in here? And he's like, well, I saw a legendary mole and I wanted to capture him.
What is a legendary mole?
Does Usopp know?
Know what?
Because mole was bold.
Bold what?
Hmm.
Why are you looking at me like I did something? It wasn't me. Okay? I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Damn.
So that was interesting. So yeah, that's where I am right now. And I'm going to catch up when I get to read more.
You... Julia, you're getting on my nerves.
I have to do this quick because my light in my room sucks and will start flickering. So hopefully I can get this done before it starts doing that. I went to a local anime store and I picked out a couple things and I wanted to open them with you guys. So
please don't do that. You seem like you're... Did you steal it? You seem like you're doing something dangerous. Why you look like you're sneaking around? I don't trust you. Okay? Look at those eyes. She looks evil.
First, I got a button because I had 2 keychains on my bag and then they both broke and leaked. Like I had to take Tiny Law and Luffy out of the little floaters because they were just leaking everywhere. So I needed to keep these 2 little cuties.
Okay.
But
that's good.
I got this. And one of these I could get Kid, Boa, Ace.
Did you steal it?
Nami, Luffy, or Law. So I'm cool with any of them. I'd rather get Law because he's one of my favorites. But they're all cute. So I'm going to open this one first and see what I got. There's so many on this one. I could get a whole bunch. So I'm not going to list them all off because there's 16 different ones I could get. So I got Luffy.
Okay.
Which I'm usually cursed to get only Nami whenever I get blind boxes. Not that I don't like Nami, it's just I only get her. So I was like, can I get somebody else, please?
That sounds like a resentment. Why you hate Nami so much?
So it's nice that I got Luffy. Oh, there's my light. So we'll do it over here instead, because this light is fine. So
your light just randomly flickers. Julia, your Caucasian is showing. You're telling me your light randomly flickers and you didn't think, let me either call an exorcist or leave the house? Your light just randomly flickers? You see, look. As somebody who would survive a horror movie naturally, I see flickering lights, I'm out of there. Neon. Neon. Like, you don't, I'm done. Julia, be careful.
So cute Luffy that I can put on my bag. I just love these little cat ones. I wanted to get the whole set, but they're expensive, so I just got one.
That's a lot of tattoos.
So these are the Fortune Lucky Cat Pirates. So, yeah.
You see, the way you're opening it so aggressively, I feel like you stole it. I'm being suspicious of you now.
So hopefully it's not Nami because I have a lot of Nami figurines.
No, you know what? As a matter of fact, I hope it is Nami. Okay, just out of out of spite.
Of course, I got Luffy again, but that's okay. Because he's cute. He's a little cat. Oh my gosh. It's a whole... I have to stick my whole hand in here. Look at him.
Oh, it looks just like you. Is that me? I'm sorry.
Oh my god. They're so cute. I love cats, so... I hope I can get more of them, but...
Okay.
This is a present to myself for Christmas.
Well, there you go, guys. That was Julia's video. I hope you guys enjoyed Julia. This is me making sure that I talk nicely so that Julia doesn't attack me. If she was bold enough to steal these One Piece figures, she didn't really steal them, but I'm presuming, okay? I'm guessing. I'm just making false allegations. But if she was bold enough to do those, I don't know what else she would do to me. So this is me being nice on purpose. Julia, you are an amazing and a cool person. We love you so much, Julia. I hope my editor do like a sparkling teeth thing. That way, it's like yeah. No. Okay. All right. Why my editor is so rude to me, bro? Like anyways. You guys want to edit for me? Let me get one of you guys to like be my editor. For real? Like if you guys would love to be my editor for free. Let me establish that first of all. Okay, for free. But yeah, go ahead and comment down below, I guess. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Stay classy.